Don't you know I'm no good for you?
Don't get me in my feelings this early, James.
Well, hello, welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We're your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Oh, and I'm going to get Stephanie in her feelings, and she's probably going to get me in my feelings today.
Yes.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll always use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our takes on each contestant. We'll give you our feedback on their voice and overall performance. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we'll keep it 100 with our critiques and feedback of each contestant's vocal and overall performance. But what we're never here to do is come for anyone's character or any person as a human being. While we may come off a little pitchy at times, if you know what I mean, we'll always do our best to speak our truths with love, kindness, and respect, as Aretha so eloquently told us back in the day. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with the final night of the playoffs. This is the last Tate performance before we go to the live, Stephanie.
I know.
And this was a night that I know you and I were really dreading because some of our favorites were last week and this week.
Yes.
And we knew we were going to be losing some of our favorite singers because only two could go from each team.
That's right. Last night did not disappoint. We got some incredible performances, but again, we got our heart broken as well.
And without further ado, let's jump right in.
Let's go.
And start off at the top. And the top was quite amazing. In fact, Stephanie and I remarked that we didn't think who was going to be at the top was at the top.
Yes.
Because this happened to be our leak.
Yes.
And did we not get it on Friday, Stephanie? We got it on Friday.
We got it on Friday.
Did we get it on Friday?
Oh, we got it on Friday. Yes, we
Stephanie
did.
Said it hit right at Cinco de Mayo.
Yes. And I needed I needed the full weekend to digest the full of that performance.
To digest, to marinate.
Marinate.
To absorb.
Yes.
To photosynthesize.
Yes. Just to enjoy. So let's tell you who it was. And just in case you don't know, it was from Team Kelly. It was D Smooth, and he sang Location by Khaled. Woo!
So I received a text message because Stephanie is usually getting the indicators before I do. And I was out doing yard work. Now, anybody knows me, I'm not a yard work person, but it was the honey-do list. It needed to be done. So Stephanie texted me, and I was, blowing, using the leaf blower and getting some things done. So I couldn't hear anything, and I couldn't feel anything because my phone was on vibrate because there was so much vibration from the leaf blower. So I did not check my phone. Stephanie, tell the Pitchy Podcast how much time you were giving me before you were going to make that phone call.
So I got the alert or checked on my phone around 1:30 and saw that the leak had dropped. I needed to prepare my mind. So I waited until 2:00 to watch. I watched and I gave James a half hour. I texted him immediately after I watched, and then he didn't text me back. So I was like, I'm gonna give this brother 30 minutes. And then I'm calling because I need to talk through this performance with James immediately. And the whole half hour or 15, 20 minutes that I was waiting for James to respond back, I was like pacing around my house. Like, I need to talk to somebody about this performance.
It was magnificent. So I got the text message. I still hadn't listened. I called Stephanie first because I got in all caps, James! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. So I hadn't listened yet. So I immediately called Stephanie, and then she sent me a text to follow to show me why she was saying James, and it was of D Smooth singing Location. So Stephanie said, like she couldn't even talk. She couldn't even talk. Like, she was shooketh.
I was shooken.
because of this performance. And so I said, okay, Stephanie, I'm going to put this in my good ears. I'm going to call you back. Call you back. Stephanie, did I even get through the song before I called you
I
back?
don't think you
Can't
got through the full
remember.
song.
I don't
No.
think I got through the song. And then I had to pause for a second. I said, this was magnificent.
Yes.
Be smooth. David. Seriously. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Kelly best described it by saying you took a linear song,
Yes.
a song that really doesn't go anywhere.
Yes.
It's a great song.
Yes.
And it's that song came out, 8 years ago? 2016, I think?
Maybe, yeah.
And you took a linear song and you de-smoothed it.
Yes.
You de-smoothed it.
Yes.
Kelly Clarkson so brilliantly said a few rounds ago, I ain't heard nobody sing like that since the 90s.
That's right.
And it's true, D-Smooth. You are in a class all by yourself, sir.
Yes.
That was magnificent. There was a beginning, middle, and end.
Mm-hmm.
You got the band hyped.
Yes.
The band hyped you. You hyped the band. The background vocals were fire. It was brilliant.
Yes.
And what amazed me is that when we got to see everything that went into you creating this version,
yes,
you arranging,
yes,
and Kelly Clarkson saying, D-Smooth is not one, basically saying, and I'm paraphrasing, that he's no one-trick pony. This
That's
man
right.
arranges too.
Come
and
on,
she
produce.
was so glad that she got to see his arranging abilities.
Yes.
And we only got to see a smidgen of it, but
That's
it
right.
was brilliant. Like to see the creative process of how you did it and how, you were working with the band leader, and it was just, it's your song.
It's your song.
It's like a few seasons ago when a contestant came on and did Point of View.
Yes.
And in front of Ariana, and Ariana says, yours now.
Yes.
Like, Khaled is like, look, he should have called up to NBC Studios and been like, this is yours now.
Yes, right.
This is yours. It was fire, and it became even more fire. Like, I didn't think you could take it to another level until you sat down. Once you sat down, sir, young man, it was over. It was done. It was done. And then you did that trickery with the mic at the end. Yeah. Stephanie and I probably looped that thing all weekend long. We looped it all weekend long, D-Smooth. You are Titan artist. Like, seriously, you are a Titan. That was a king performance.
Come on, King.
And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Stephanie.
Well, first, I'll start off by saying that just like last week, each of the artists were introduced with a sort of nickname. So for D-Smooth, he was our silky smooth singer, and boy, was he ever. James, I feel so blessed this season. Ask me why.
Why, Stephanie?
Because we have had so much male R&B, especially later on in the season. And the past few seasons that I've been watching consistently, we have not. So we've had Ray, who I've described as our more 2000s male R&B singer, and then we have D-Smooth, who is more of our 90s male R&B singer. And I knew he was going to serve it before I even opened up the link, which is why I had to prepare myself. Right. And then when I saw the song title and the song choice, I was like, oh, this is interesting because, as Kelly described, this song is very linear, and that means that it's very chill, and it kind of just stays in one place. There's not a lot of place for it to go, which is cool for the song because it's a whole vibe. It's just right in the cut. But as a song for a performance show such as The Voice, if you sing it straight like that, it's going to be a little bit boring. That is not what D Smooth did. And I love how you referenced him working in the rehearsal with the band leader to kind of do some different things to the song to give it some more elements. D Smooth's performance of this song was the coolest juxtaposition of strength and vulnerability.
Right.
Like, looking at him and his whole demeanor, you can tell he's very masculine, very strong. But in this song, the way he performed it and the lyrics in and of themselves are very vulnerable and, really tapping into that more sensitive side. And it was just incredible. It was just so incredible. That band, okay, we could talk all day about the band, and we talk every episode about the band. And that is because they are so good. And increase as the show moves forward and we get to see more of the band and the songs stretch a little longer, we get to see just how brilliant this band is. And they helped D Smooth provide a whole story for this song. The BGVs were used brilliantly.
That opening line, what was that opening line they said?
They just did oohs and snaps. Oh, come through. They come through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So the arrangement from start to finish was fire because it starts off that chill vibe, and then by the middle it builds up. So once it built up, I was like, yes. And then it started to slow down. And I was like, okay, we're coming down. Like, that was my initial reaction. Oh, we're coming down. Little did I know. That is when D brought it home. Like, that is when he took it to church. That is when he did all of the incredible improvising that is really central to that 90s R&B sound, because it's a lot like gospel. That improvisation is such a fixture in gospel, but also lends itself to that 90s R&B. And that's what makes it so unique. And that's why I love it so much. And just,
come through.
When you think about the fact that all he said was a time and a place, like if I were just to say that to you, that he said that for about 45 seconds, it might sound a little bit boring. It was not.
No.
It was not.
No.
Because of all the different melodic choices that he chose to do in order to say it. And those choices provide the personalization and the connection that we feel in the song, and that's what makes it feel real to us, because it's like he's having a conversation with us, the viewer, or we're watching a scene happen where he's trying to holler and he's like, a time and a place.
That's right.
And when my man did the mic fan and the
it was fire.
It was fire.
It was like Chance like, I can see you singing to hundreds of thousands of people. Like people don't pay to come see you.
Yes.
Dude, by what he did, Stephanie, he created a new genre of music. I got a new genre of music for you.
Bring it.
Emotional urban contemporary.
Come on.
Emotional urban contemporary. D Smooth, that's your genre of music. Ain't nobody doing that. Emotional urban contemporary.
I love it. Yeah. I love it because that's exactly what it is.
Because you had to put out feelings. Like, you really did.
This is why I was pacing my house until James called me, because he had me in my feelings.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I love the feedback that Niall said when he said, I bet it's like he wouldn't do it the same twice.
No.
Precisely. He would not. And Kelly laughed and said he doesn't do it the same twice. Like, all the times that they rehearsed it, he probably did it differently each time, because that's just the styling. That's just the brilliance.
He always knows where his voice is going, right? Like, he's one of those singers, like, he always, in the improvisation, he always knows where he's going.
Right. Right.
which which
Absolutely.
which makes all of his running and riffing, it makes it genuine,
Yes.
and it makes it purposeful,
Absolutely.
right? And very few
Absolutely.
singers can run and riff that beyond the ornamentation of running and
Yes.
riffing and make it genuine and purposeful.
That's right.
And those are singers who always know where their run and riff are going.
That's right. Incredible
Emotional urban
performance.
contemporary. D Smooth,
Love it.
that's you.
I love it.
All right, so who do we have next?
Next up was from Team Niall. We had Ross Clayton. He was the second chance man, and he sang With or Without You by U2.
AKA my Sasha Fierce with the
Oh my gosh.
glasses. With those
Yes.
glasses
Yes.
on. Ross is
Yes.
it. Ross is
Yes.
it. I first of all, I love this song. I
Yeah.
thought it was a really good song choice. I thought it was a risky song choice because the song is
Absolutely.
so rangy. I mean, this is
Yes, it is.
sung by the iconic Bono of
Yes.
U2,
Mm-hmm.
and the song is rangy. And I was like, oh, is Ross going to be able to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have even doubted that Ross had the range because he
Right.
did have the range.
Right.
My favorite part of the song, believe it or not, Stephanie, was his lows because I didn't know if Ross had the lows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially the first verse when he
Mm-hmm.
opened and he was singing in his lower register, he reminded me. I was like, you remind me of an '80s singer who's not Bono because I was
Mm.
like, he's sounding like someone that. And you remember the song from I think from the movie Pretty in Pink? Don't you forget about
Yes.
me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's who
Yes.
his voice reminds me. Simple Minds is the group, and I
Yes.
forget the lead singer of that song of that group. But the name is
Yeah.
look them up, you all. Simple Minds. Don't
Yeah.
you forget about me. All you kids, do your history,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then his voice reminds me of that. Like
Yeah.
I loved it. It was a different sound for Ross.
Yes.
Now, and this is just artistic, and I was speaking to another friend of mine who's a big fan who watches the show, and I was like, trying to figure it out, and we were talking through it a little bit, and she said he didn't need to do that second verse, did he? I said that's it. I said
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I said because I loved the first verse so much. I wanted, I'm one of those people, Stephanie, that are like, give me a little bit and then make me want for
Yeah.
more, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wanted him to go right to the higher part, but he did,
Mm-hmm.
they have more liberty, they have more room, so he did the
Right.
second verse low. And I was like, because this is a singing competition, people may get lost in the weeds,
Right.
because they're looking for the big note, they're looking for the transition to the big note.
Right.
Um, what did I wrote a lot of good things. I said this is a hard song to sing. I said I love Ross's tone. Always have
Yeah.
loved his tone. I said he has such an '80s rocker pure tone,
Mm-hmm.
that he really draws you in. I love when he flipped to his head voice. He had a like a nice
Yes.
little flip.
Yes.
Um, but one note, Ross, this is the first time that I noticed this with this song. I said because you gave us a little bit more Ross in every other performance. I thought that you were a little safe in this performance. Not that
Mm-hmm.
you didn't sing it well, but it could be interpreted as a little karaoke because you didn't bring the Ross personality as much with this song as you did with previous rounds of this song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, uh, and I said, watch the end when you go down on your knees, and you want to hit that high note at the end. Watch your breath, because
Mm-hmm.
when you go on your knees, sometimes you can collapse your breath, but that's just the voice teacher in me. I
Mm-hmm.
said this song is a marathon. It is rangy. It
Yes.
is all over the place. And I thought Ross is going to sing well. He's going to
Yeah.
sing really well, and that's what I thought he did. I thought
Mm-hmm.
it was a very, very good song choice.
Mm-hmm.
All I would have done, Stephanie, was just cut that uh, second verse low.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually agree with that, because I really love the performance, but there was something where I was like, oh, what am I struggling with? And that is exactly it. Because I think for us as the viewer, when you stay in that low for too long, we're kind
Yeah.
of waiting because we know that it's going to get to
You
a
know it's
higher
coming.
point. We know it's coming, and it just kind of stayed in that lower portion, which again was executed really, really beautifully.
Right.
Right on pitch, really clear, like just really beautifully sung. But it just stayed there for a little while. What I thought was interesting about this song, and what I want to give kudos to Ross for, is that this song, not only that was there a pitch change, it actually jumped a full octave.
Yes.
So for him
Oh yeah.
to sound so good in the lows, but then to actually sound just as good, if not better, in that higher octave is really rare. Like I don't know that I've heard a singer jump an octave in one in a song and sound just as good in their lower register as they did in their higher. So kudos.
Octave jumping, especially for the male voice, is very
Mhm.
difficult. It's
Mhm.
very, very difficult to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so kudos to you. Even if the key was the original key, for sticking with that key, staying
Yeah.
in a key where your voice sounded great in both ranges. Um, yeah, I mean, again with Ross with the glasses, it's still not a barrier. He still is able to communicate
Right.
with us as the audience, even with those glasses on. So I love that.
Yeah.
Um, I think my wonder with the not too much variation in the melody. I wonder if it was a respect factor, because this is the first time that they've been able to do either this U2 song or any U2 song on this singing competition. So
There's an
I'm sure
Irish
that that came,
connection.
it sure was. So I
Niall was like,
wonder,
I'm gonna do a call in my
I'm
Irish
calling a
boy,
favor. That's
calling
right.
a
That's
favorite
right.
because that's my countrymen, right?
Yes, yes. So I
So
wonder if there was a respect factor with that, and not taking too many liberties with the melody of the song, not switching it up too much, since it was a first for the show.
right.
But overall, I think it was executed really, really well, and I think that it was performed really, really well too.
And the band was rocking as
Ooh, they were
they
happy. Yes, they were.
dun, 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 like that.
Yes,
Oh, I love it.
yes, yes.
Okay, great. So who do we have next?
Next up was from Team Kelly. We had Cait Martin. She is our pop diva, and she sang Alone by Heart.
It's one of those songs that you do not attempt unless you can bring it. And
Till
Cait,
now. Mm,
here's why I'm mad at you, Cait. I'm mad at you because not only you were like, okay, I know that Ann Wilson of Heart originally sang this song, the
mm-hmm,
incomparable Ann Wilson, but
mm-hmm.
Celine did a version of this song
Yes,
too
she
that ain't
did.
too bad. So
That's
I'm gonna
right.
do a hybrid of the
Yes,
Ann Wilson and Celine Dion, but two
yes.
of the greatest pop vocalists of all time.
Yeah.
And Kate's like, I'm gonna do a hybrid of it.
Yeah.
Because this is a song that me and my mom would sing in the car at the top of our
Yes.
lungs.
Yes.
And first of all, Cait looked like a superstar. She looked like a
Trillion
superstar.
bucks. Trillion bucks.
And I'm not talking about the dress. I'm not talking about the hair, the the face. I'm not talking about all that. I'm just talking about like just
I am.
her presence. Well, you
Yes,
can. I'm
I
talking
am.
about her superstar. Cait has a superstar presence
Yes.
about her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's captivating. You are
Yes.
captivating, Cait.
Yes.
That was the first thing. Like I immediately like leaned forward and like, what's she gonna do? And then she opened her mouth, and that's one of those songs, kind of like when Kylie did All by Myself. It's one of those songs that starts off very vulnerable. They're
Mm-hmm.
almost like a hushed whisper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Come on.
and it was just so, I don't know, it's down a few octaves, but Steph, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
it I immediately was drawn in. I was immediately captivated. I said, Cait always will give us levels. She will
Yes.
always take us on a journey.
Yes.
And she will always give us a flawless vocal. And she
Come
picks songs that I'm just
on.
like, I ain't heard this sung well in a competition since Carrie Underwood did it 20 some almost 20 some years ago, and when she won American Idol.
That
And
part.
I just like, this is a song that few attempt, and
Because
I
they
just
shouldn't.
loved it. And the reason why I loved it, some people may have noticed Cait did this vocal manipulation, at least that's what it sounded like to me, where she made the opening almost like a tremble in her voice, like
Mm-hmm.
almost like a quiver.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Quiver.
Because if you think of the opening lyrics of the song and think of how the song starts, it was a quiver in her voice, and it just made it even that much more dynamic for when
Right.
she transitioned. And then like I just and then she just soared. She just soared, and I loved she did what I kind of wanted Ross to do with the U2 song,
Yes.
because those songs are kind of the same era. And
Yes.
like she added a little Cait, like
Yes.
a little flattering, being respectful, because
Come
this is a
on.
song like to Stephanie's point, it's a song you need to be respectful
Come on.
of the original.
Yes.
Because it's so iconic. And what I loved, I don't know if you peeped this, Stephanie, but they usually have, when they do versions of this song, they usually have the background vocals sing higher, sing the like the discant or
Mm-hmm.
the higher harmony
Mm-hmm.
of it. But they had the male singer sing the harmony with her, which I thought was
Oh, cool.
incredible.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredible. I love this version of this song, and I love Cait
Mm-hmm.
singing it. It was so good. I said, Cait's making it impossible. She's making it impossible to choose.
100%.
Stephanie?
100%. Oh, when they said she was doing Alone, I said, oh, because this is my jam. This is my jam.
Yeah.
And if I trust anybody to sing this song, because
Trust. I
it
love
is
that
a
word.
trust. If I trust anybody to sing this ridiculously hard song, it's Cait. And Cait did not only deliver, she sang that song down. James, I believe that your quote last night was, she left her esophagus on the stage, because she did.
Blech.
It was left. It was gone. There was nothing left.
Yep,
There
your
was nothing
esophagus
left.
was left on the stage.
Yes, it was. It was really interesting at the beginning in the low parts of the song. Let me see if this is what you heard, James. I heard some Tony Braxton. I don't know if you heard
Yeah,
some Tony. I heard some Tony. I
yes.
was like, you
Yeah.
may give some Tony. Yes.
The breathy quiver, like
Yes, the breathy quiver, and even the run that she did within that first verse. I,
almost. She almost sped up her vibrato. Like that's what I
yes,
heard. And it was
100%.
intentional, because
Yes,
it was crazy. It
yes.
was crazy for singers who can do that type of manipulation to their voice. It's nuts.
Right. And for anybody that wants to truly just, you never really thought about this song as being hard. I don't know how you don't, but if you don't, go back and listen to Cait's version and listen to her part listen to the chorus, which is till now, that part. And then listen to her go from that into the second verse, because she's soaring and then she goes, na, 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 and the transition is like that. And she did not miss a beat. And it was absolutely
And then
incredible.
and then like the kind of bridge transition where you're like,
Yes.
like
When she
when
was
you're singing all up there, it's
Yes,
just
when she was singing all up there and the guitarist was out in front and she was singing with the guitarist, that
shredding.
was incredible. The BGVs, I love one of the only reasons why I really want to hear this song on singing competitions is because I want to hear how the BGVs do with those really
We hear
high,
that
high, high
harmony.
harmonies, and they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And this is interesting because for all of our artists, I believe that this is the first round where they've really sang with the BGVs front and center. And I wonder
Right.
how that affects their hearing as well, because they are an integral part of most of their most of the performances in
Right.
these playoff rounds. So I wonder how that adjustment was in rehearsals and thus far. Anyway, going back to Cait, the fit was incredible. She looked incredible. Hair was incredible. Everything was incredible. She looked like
She's
a
the
queen.
star.
She was a star. And to my ear, as I'm watching with my headphones in, it sounded incredible. What got me in my feelings a bit is we get to the coaches. And this was the second time in which Blake had a comment about her pitch. I did not agree. And even if there was something slight that he heard, I don't think that it was worth bringing up. And I think that it makes it look like he's targeting her.
Right.
And the editing does. Because
Right.
of course all of these comments are edited, and I don't like that for him, and I don't like that for her. Because if that's not a real thing, they're making it a thing on the show, and it just was an unnecessary comment for him to make. Looking at the full of the performance, it was not a necessary comment. That is not what needed to be front and center for as well as she did. And then as we move on, we will see another artist whose performance was a little shaky, and he didn't have anything of pitch to say about that contestant, which I
Right.
found very interesting, where
Right.
it doesn't seem like he has a problem bringing that up. So I was disappointed in that feedback, and that was feedback again that did not seem necessary.
I cussed. I was mad.
James did cuss.
I
He
cussed.
did. He did.
I might be
He did.
saved, but I cuss a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I
You know, the
cuss.
Lord is still working on all of us.
Yeah, all of us. But no, I the level of difficulty
Mm-hmm.
and the level of execution,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get bigger than Alone.
Right. Right.
You can't.
Right.
It's one of the most difficult, one of the most amazing songs
Right.
sung, and when sung right, it's glorious.
That's right.
Because we've heard rough versions of this song because people think they
That's
can
right.
do it, but they can't.
Yeah. That's right.
It's one of those songs that are saved for the few, Stephanie.
That's right.
So, Cait,
Absolutely.
we are just so proud of you. You sang just completely with abandonment. Like it was incredible.
That's right.
There's a moment.
That's right. Yes, it was.
So who do we have next?
Next up was from Team Niall. We have Gina Miles, and she is our storyteller, and she sang Wicked Game by Chris Isaak.
Great song. I said,
Great
okay,
song.
Gina, you better be young and pull a song out from the 90s.
That's right.
Yeah. Chris Isaak. I love it. I love it. I love it. I put this was well, I'm trying to think of how to say it. It was ethereally stunning.
Beautiful.
It was ethereally stunning. Her
Beautiful.
voice is just so like it's like an Enya type voice. It's just so
Yes.
ethereal. It's so it's a very 90s
Yes.
progressive voice,
Yes.
but in a different way than say Rachel, who was a
Yeah.
contestant this season. It's
Totally different.
it's a little bit more specific, a little bit more 90s like fusion mixed with a today sound, if that makes sense.
Yes. Absolutely.
It was, in my opinion, this was her best performance. Gina's scary because you would think, because she's a very quiet person, kind of an introverted, not I wouldn't say shy, but just
Yeah.
quiet, more of
Quiet.
a quiet
Mhm.
demeanor, that
Mhm.
she be someone that the pressure may get to her, but it
Right.
seemed like she attacked it and was like, I know what I have to do
Mhm.
to make these people really look at me. I don't want to get lost amongst.
That's right.
I need to stand out. I'm going to do something to
That's
stand
right.
out. And
That's right.
Gina, what was so also scary about what she did is she did it being unapologetically Gina, right?
Absolutely.
So I almost didn't recognize this song because the arrangement was just so different. It was haunting.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
so, and there was a one part where she just held this note out. She
Yes.
didn't bring vibrato in or anything. It was just like a straight tone,
Yeah.
and it just seemed like it went on forever. Pitch did not
Yes.
waver, and
Not at all.
and everyone was like you
That's
could see
right.
all the coaches like, oh my Lord. I think Kelly even
Right.
like made a noise or something like,
Yeah.
what? It was magnificent.
Yeah.
And I just was like, Gina did not come to play. Okay. She's
No.
that quiet fire.
Yes,
She is,
she
to
is.
me, she is the dark horse of the entire, she's my new dark horse of the entire competition, because it's not that Gina wasn't on anyone's radar. It's just, I don't
Mhm.
know if she was anyone's top choice. She's been
Mhm.
consistent. She's been incredible. She
Yeah.
has her own
Yeah.
lane, has her own sound,
Yes.
but she's not going to come with a power ballad, right? Stephanie,
Right.
she's not going to
Right.
come with, with, she's not going to come with a song that, like Alone, right? She's going to be
Right.
like, I'm going to find my own lane and I'm going to make it undeniable that you got to
Absolutely.
take notice of me.
Yeah.
And they were shooketh, like, and
They were shooketh.
all of them. Like,
Mhm.
I think at one time Blake like turned to Niall and was like,
At
"Oh
the
my
end, he stood up. He stood up and
yeah,
went over to Niall and was like, "Man, like, oh my goodness, man."
yeah."
Yeah.
Blake never stands
Mhm.
up. Like, he
Right.
rarely
Never.
stands up.
Right.
And so it was Gina. Woo! That was
Yeah.
that was like, you were like, you grabbed us in the soft, subtle way that you do by our
Yes.
collar, and you pulled
Yeah.
us in, and you saying, "You're going to
Absolutely.
hear me. You're going to listen to me. I'm going
You're
to
gonna
sing a
love me.
flawless vocal,
That's right.
and you're going to remember me."
That's right. That's right. That
Yeah,
was special. It was
it was.
special. It was special from the start. From the start of the arrangement, I was like, "Oh, we're in for it. Like this, she's going to do something." I call Gina's voice perfectly imperfect because it
Mm,
there's this shaky quiver tone to her voice where there's always something there that's not smooth,
right.
but it's so perfect. It reminds me kind of like I've referenced before, like an Alanis voice, where it's uniquely her and it's
Yeah,
kind of
perfectly imperfect.
imperfect,
That's a great
but
description.
it's perfect. I love the differing melodic choices that she made in this song. Like you said, James, it was an incredible modernization of this song because it was almost unrecognizable if you
Yeah.
didn't really listen to the lyrics. It almost felt like kind of like the James Bond reference that we made for a performance last week. It felt like a cinematic
Yes.
song, like a cinematic event.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
her chest voice to her head voice is so flawless. These
It's
flips that she does are absolutely incredible. And it's not even a yodel. Like
in
she
good
does
taste.
and in good taste. Like everything is, she is a musician. I want you to
Yes.
know, Gina, we see you because you are a musician. because every line of that song, every melodic choice was intentional and thought out, so creative, so captivating, to the point where I was waiting to see what she was going to do next.
Right.
And it wasn't even a matter of, is she going to execute? That was a given. That was a given
Yep.
from 10 seconds in. It was like, what is she going to do next? Is it going to be the flip? Is it going to be the yodel? Is it going to be that one note, that one long note that she did? That was just
forever.
What I loved, forever. And then it just trailed off. Like it didn't even, she didn't even just stop. It just trailed off. I was like,
Where did it go?
Where did it go? The sense of control that she has.
That note,
right. the sense of control that she has over her voice is incredible. And yes, Gina is one that you can sleep on if you want to, because her voice is quiet. You can sleep on her all you want, but when she and Niall win this competition, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised.
Dark horse.
Don't be surprised. Dark horse. Incredible, Gina. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You. It was insane. That was one of the best performances of the night.
Stephanie and I were like, oh my goodness, Gina, like showing out tonight.
Showing out. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, great. So who do we have next?
Next up was from Team Kelly, newly to Team Kelly. It was Niall Salsich, and he sang Have a Little Faith in Me by John Hyatt, and he is the pro.
So I text Stephanie, I said, preach, preacher.
Preach.
Because there was a part that they showed in the rehearsal. That's before we even got to the actual performance.
Right.
Where Mr. Niall was going in. I said, okay, you spend some time in an African American church, sir.
Come on.
Southern church.
Yes.
Because I was like, man, that back half of that song, Niall was preaching.
He was preaching.
Like, and I put under preach. I said, sing, boy.
Yes.
But B-O-I, sing, boy.
Yes.
And then I got downloaded something. I think you'll appreciate, Stephanie, and you'll understand what I'm saying. I said, Niall, what is it about Niall's voice that's so special? I said, Niall has a greatest hits voice.
Come on.
I said, come on, download. I said, and let me explain to y'all what I mean by that. And this just came to me last night as I was watching him perform. I said, Niall's voice is so perfect. It's so good that only certain artists out there who have a collection of albums, like I'm talking about years of being at the top of their game. Again, titans of the industry. That's my word for the day. Titans of the industry put out greatest hits albums.
Come on.
And that's why I said Niall has a greatest hits voice, because Niall's not there yet, but his voice is that good.
Yes.
That I could see Niall having a 30, 40-year long career and them dropping greatest hits album, him doing like a remastering of his greatest hits, all the things that the biggest of the biggest artists of the world do. I said, he has a greatest hits voice. I said, it seems like he's been recording forever. And that's why I love that they call him a pro. I said, you know what he reminds me of with his look, with his sound? He reminds me of a young Billy Joel.
That's what I wrote.
Of course you did. Because see, you and I, sometimes we're just right there. Yes. I said, he reminds me of a young Billy Joel.
I think I referenced that last time he sang. Spot on.
All right, so I mean that's all I have to say about Niall. Niall, you have a greatest hits voice, sir. Like you really do. Like I would go see you in concert. I'd buy your album. I buy all of your albums, and you're one of those voices where I put the album on and just let it go, because people don't make albums anymore.
That's right. We're not skipping no tracks.
Nope.
That's right.
Because I love it. Right. I'm here for it, and you are the genre bending, shifting dude. You can sing anything.
Yes,
definitely,
100%. James. Yes and amen. Billy Joel Paul Simon, greatest hits voice is the perfect way to say what I wanted to say. Because
Yeah.
what I wrote is Neil is too good for this show. He's just too good for this show. Like
I
he's
think
another
so
one
too.
kind of he's another one where it just kind
That's
of
why they
felt
call him
like
the pro.
that's right.
He's
You don't
next level.
That's right. Just like Jamar. It's kind of like, here's Neil. Neil's coming on as a guest spot, as a guest artist, just coming, dropping a selection, and then y'all can continue with your little contest or whatever. But just his melodic choices are so excellent. His ability
Yes.
to improvise within the song and make it his own and make it personable and make it, again, his song. Like that was his song. I have Preacher on mine as well, because what I loved about that part as well, James, is that he didn't go overboard with it. It was such a smart, wonderful mix of the growl and the preaching, but then the singing within that as well. It was so pro. Pro is really the best word to use for him, because that is how he sounds, and that's how he shows up to the stage as a pro, not in a cocky way, but just very comfortable in his giftedness, and giftedness is what he has. So I hope he has a 30-40 year career and makes
Right.
that greatest hits album, because that's the voice that he has. Absolutely.
Correct. And if you notice, like his stage presence is so spectacular. Like you want to laugh, you want to get
Yes,
like you want to chuckle, you want to, because it's so natural and it's not a put on. It's
it's
just
joy. It's
it's
joy.
joy.
It's
Like you're like,
joy.
look at him.
It's
Like yeah,
joy. It's
it's joy
joy,
and
and
singing.
it's joy, and it's freedom. And who
Correct.
does not need a little bit of that nowadays? And who would not go to see that? I will go to
Come
a
on, preach,
Neil show
preacher.
in a hot minute, because I know that I'm going to get good singing. I know that I'm going to have a good time, and I know that I'm going to walk away better than how I came in there. So,
Right. Right.
congratulations, Neil.
Awesome, Neil. All right.
Mhm.
So who do we have next?
Next up was from Team Niall. We had Tasha Jessen. She is our risk taker, and she sang Here by Alicia Cara.
Before we get into Tasha, like it amazes me people who immigrate to the United States and how
Mhm.
they learn English. Like I would never know Tasha was from Pakistan,
Right.
and because like her, like she sounds like she's from here, right?
That's okay.
It
Here.
I have to be reminded, like this is
Yeah.
someone who because of religious persecution, they fled the country and came over here and
Right.
are here. Uh,
Here.
so when the song started, I said, "Come on, Tasha." I said,
Mhm.
"Tasha, let me tell you why I applaud Tasha. Tasha took a big risk, a huge, gigantic risk by choosing this very now song."
Mhm.
And in the spirit of like singers like Lizzo, it's that very Chance the Rapper. It's that very singy, rap flowy. You gotta have breast support for days, and you don't realize how hard a song is until you're like deep in it, and you're like,
That's
"Yo,
right.
like I need an
That's right.
extra lung to sing this song and to
That's right.
speak, sing, rap, whatever, sing this song."
Mhm.
Um, I felt the song was a little bigger than her. Like I
Mhm.
felt Tasha was getting drowned out a little bit because I think she did struggle with the breast support portion of it. And
Mhm.
I said, watch the holding of the notes because the pitch was a little off. I said, this is a difficult song. And I felt like this song, unlike say With or Without You, this song is a sprint. Like it's just a
Sprint.
full out sprint the entire time, and I just felt like she ran out of a little steam at the end.
Right.
But my thing is that Tasha's voice is so good that there's going to be wonderful parts vocally that Tasha does because she's just that good.
Right.
Tasha, I applaud you again for taking that risk of doing this song. I am a little biased because you're one of the singers on the show that nobody sings a ballad like you, Tasha. Like no one
Yeah,
sings a ballad like you, and that's what
right.
I always want from you. But that's me being selfish, and that's not me letting you have the artistic liberties of choosing what you want to sing or having a song chosen for you. Um, was this my favorite performance of hers? No, but there's little that Tasha can do wrong because her voice is just that sick.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
So I'll start with my feedback and then I'll end with my discovery. So this
Okay,
song is impossible. Absolutely impossible. And I'll
it's
tell
true.
you why it's impossible. Almost impossible. I mean, I'm sure Alicia has sung it a million times, but
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if she had a hand in
you
writing
got
it
it.
or
It's a
whatever. It's
song
her
you got to
song.
get in your body, right?
And this is why. Because number one, there are 1,000,000,000 words until you get to here.
Right,
But there are 1,000,000,000 words to this song. Number two, knowing where you're going to breathe is almost as important as knowing what the lyrics to this song are. Because you have to actually like memorize. If you're going to perform this song, you almost have to memorize and put it in your body and practice it over and over again where to breathe so you remember to breathe so that you don't forget to breathe as you're
right.
singing all of these 1,000,000,000 lyrics to this song. Okay, impossible song. I love Tasha's tone. Tasha has
Oh,
one of my favorite tones of this
of the
season.
season, yeah,
She has
absolutely.
this, oh, when she does a little run with the different melodic choices that she makes. And that was another thing that was even more risk taking. She tried to put her own spin on this song. So she
Mhm.
tried to change up the rhythm and the timing and some of the melody of the song a little bit, like as much as she could. And again, if you're going to do that, you almost have to practice where to breathe so that you
Right.
remember to breathe. So I think that's where some of the pitchiness that we might have heard came in.
Sure.
This song did not allow us to hear Tasha at her best, and
No.
that made me sad. That made me sad. So here's the discovery that I made as I was looking over the songs again, listening to them over again. I went to YouTube, and as I was going through YouTube, I was noticing that some of the contestants were commenting under their YouTube performance. Tasha happened to comment, and she alluded to the fact that she did not get to pick this song. This song was chosen for her. That makes me sad.
It makes me
That
very
makes
sad.
me sad
Yeah.
because again, this song did not allow us to hear Tasha at her best. This is an impossible song. And I think that it was kind of a cop out to have her say that this song kind of reminded her of her journey. Because if you
Right.
listen to the lyrics of the song, I mean, if you twist it enough, you could make it about kind of being displaced or not being
Right.
trying to
Right.
assimilate to where you are or whatever. If you twist it, there are better songs that could have made the same point. This was not it. And I'm sad that she did not get a full choice in the song. So taking that into consideration, well done, Tasha.
Well done indeed. All right. So who do we have next?
Next up was from Team Kelly. We had Allie. She is our inspiring soul singer, and she sang Never Alone by Tori Kelly and Kurt Franklin. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Jameson took his glasses off, y'all. Don't tell her that you're mad at her.
Allie. Like I
Mhm.
need you opening. Like I need you to be the opening act for Tori Kelly and or Jasmine Sullivan. That's the first thing
Do
I
it.
wrote. Like I
Yes.
need because the world needs to hear that, like especially their audience who may not necessarily watch a show like The Voice, they need to
Listen.
hear your voice.
Listen. Tori put out some new music recently. She should be touring soon.
Your voice is so
Yep.
good, it makes me squirm. I can't
Mm.
sit still when you sing, young lady. I can't do it
Mm-hmm.
because it's that uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
in the best
Yeah,
way.
best way. Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you gotta move when you sing because your
That's right.
voice is just it is like when oil cuts water.
Come on, oil. Not that oil.
It's like when oil cuts water.
Come on, oil.
I said, what a start with
Mm-hmm.
just you and the guitar down
Yeah.
front. I said,
Yeah.
what a start. Not singers can't do that. You have to be such a good musician and have such a good sense of pitch
That's right.
to do what you did,
That's
and
right.
then you just blew it up. I put
She
dirty,
blew it up.
so dirty. I said, Allie can out sing. Like she can hang with Tori and Jasmine. That's the scary thing about that voice.
Comfortably.
I don't know anybody that can hang with Tori Kelly and Jasmine Sullivan when it
Mm-mm.
comes to especially running.
Come on.
But I know these two artists, these two living legends, I'm going to call them, because even though
Yeah.
they're still very young in the game, they've been in the game for a minute. But Tori
Mm-hmm.
and Jasmine are both going to be huge legends in their own
Yes.
right. I know that they got to be listening. I know Jasmine. I mean, Jasmine was a guest coach last season. I know Jasmine's got to be watching and being like, "Yo, I need this girl."
Absolutely. Oh, I hope she is watching. Yes.
Like I put stone cold singing. Stephanie, did you see at the end of the performance, Allie didn't even finish the note, and these background vocalists attacked her. They
Great recognized
attacked
great.
her. I have
Great
never seen a
recognized
background
great.
vocalist break character like they broke character last night.
That's yes.
Like, because
Yeah.
because these three are like some of the baddest singers in the game, right?
That's
Like,
right.
I don't know who they are, but they're some of the baddest singers in the game because just the whole
Right.
body of work that they got to memorize every week, and
Oh,
that band,
absolutely.
and just they literally like she literally was finishing the note, and they like they
Mm-hmm.
all like attacked her
Mm-hmm.
because they know I'm getting chills thinking about it. That's the biggest compliment when other singers
Mm-hmm.
are just sitting there in all of you, and these are all pros, and
Right.
they're just looking at you like,
Yeah.
and they could do nothing but like just hug, like embrace her, like bear hug
Embrace
her,
her.
like they
That's
all
right.
three like 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 bees, like they
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
that to me, the humanity and just the artistry and
Mm-hmm.
just the humbleness.
Mm-hmm.
And Allie is one of my favorite singers, like, of all time. Like,
Absolutely.
she's one of my favorite new singers of all time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Allie, I'm gonna be following you. Like, I just oh gosh, I can't wait for whatever project you're gonna be working on. Like I want to hear it before it
Right.
drops, Allie. Like, I just love you that much, and I love just your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Your spirit
Mm-hmm.
is second to none. That was one
Absolutely.
of the greatest performances of the season, in my
Absolutely.
opinion. Stephanie,
Absolutely. Um, Niall said that she was a like a soul singer and a storyteller, and I think that's a perfect way to describe Allie because she has that undeniable soul in her throat. Her throat is seasoned with, again, the finest of chicken oil and Kool-Aid, and you can hear it. But she also tells a story. She also tells a story, and she tells it with her melodic choices. She tells it with her body. She tells it with her entire performance. Um, I just loved. I love the song choice.
Oh, that
I love
song.
this. I love the song. I love what this song seemed to mean to her. And I get the sense that she felt a weight with singing this song. Like it was really important for her to deliver the song, to respect the song and the artist who did the song, and to really deliver the message of hope that this song has. And
Right.
Ali, you did that 1000%. 1000%. Just like you said, the BGVs were just incredible in the song in and of itself.
Right.
But I love the
Did you
support.
hear? Did you hear everything she was doing? It's like
I
she was.
no,
It's like she was
no.
accompanying them.
Right. No, I didn't hear everything that she's doing. And that's what I love about Allie is that I have to listen several times to Allie's performances so I can even begin to catch all of the intricate things that she's doing within one performance, which is incredible because
Yeah.
all the choices are correct. I love how she ends some of her phrases with that that I love that. I
Yes.
love her. Yes, I
Of
love her
course.
falsetto. I love her. I love everything about her voice. I love the beginning with the acoustic guitar and how she was in that nice low register in her voice, that really vulnerable space in her voice. I love that. This was just an incredible performance to
Yeah.
me. Again, I'm scrolling through YouTube and I see that she comments about this song and she said something to the effect of she thinks that she could have did better.
Oh, please,
I'm
girl.
going to say how.
Girl, if that better. If
How?
you had better, Stephanie and I wouldn't have, like, we wouldn't be able to take it.
No, that
We'd have been laid
and
out.
yeah, and I what I want you to not do is to listen to produced feedback. That's what I want you to not do because I know Blake gave you a note that there might have been a couple parts that quote
No way.
unquote got away from you. Ain't nothing get away from
No
you,
way.
Allie. Ain't
No way.
nothing get away from you. Just because he can't catch it, just because he can't absorb it,
No
just
way.
because he doesn't understand it, just because he doesn't know what to do with all of the goodness that is going on in your runs and in your melodic choices does not mean that it was wrong. There was nothing wrong. So please don't take feedback that is not true and absorb it. You just say, okay, thank you very much. And you toss that away. There is no, if you feel like you could have done better, great for you, but don't make that judgment based on somebody else's feedback. It was an incredible performance and congratulations.
Allie got that. Pour the hot bacon grease in the tin can and put it on the sink voice.
Put
That's
it on,
Allie's
yep.
voice.
Put it on that
Put it on the
windowsill.
sink,
That's right.
and
Yep.
it solidifies. But when you
Come
need to
on.
use that bacon grease again, you put it on that hot skillet, and it makes the best darn pancakes or whatever you need to use that bacon grease. Girl, your voice is bacon grease. And if you don't know about how good bacon grease is, it's the best. It's so good, it's not good for you.
Come
It's
on.
the best.
It's the best.
It's the best, Allie.
It's the
And you are
best.
the
Yes.
best. I love it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
All right. So who do we have next?
Next up, we have from Team Niall, we have Michael B. He is our
Oh,
theatrical dark horse, and he sang The Joke by Brandy Carlisle.
Michael B. Let me tell you everything I said about you. I said the drama of it all with your voice, the drama of it all. I said, I love the beginning, middle, and end of your voice. I said, you have the perfect vibrato, the
Mm-hmm.
perfect runs.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you are a singer's singer.
Come on.
You are a singer's singer, meaning the best singers want to sound like you.
That's right.
And I'm a singer.
Yeah.
And I like things that you do. I'm like, I need to study what Michael B does, because Michael B,
That's
your
right.
voice, it has such a pure quality, but
Mm.
very theatrical, but not in your face theatrical. It
Yeah.
is, it's like, it's like R&B theater.
Come
Thank you.
on.
Download. R&B
Come
theater.
on.
That's what I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you R&B theater, dude. Like, seriously. That's who you are.
I love it. That's
Michael
perfect.
B, you have given a perfect vocal every time. You've given an understated perfect vocal. You've given a
Yeah.
make Stephanie scream perfect vocal. You've given, you've given, that's why I call you the singer,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't miss, dude. Like, you don't
No.
miss.
No.
It's just, it's just so darn good.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go on and on with compliments with you, sir. But I mean, you like, the sky's the limit for you. You want to go to the theater, you want to go to popular music, you do whatever you want to do. Like, seriously, the world is your
Right.
oyster. You got it,
Right.
sir. You got it.
That's right. That's
Go
right.
on.
It was excellent. It was just excellent. I think that the secret weapon is exactly what you're saying, James, because he is able to connect to the lyrics in such a true and authentic way, no matter what song we're talking about. And
Hmm.
that can come, and I think the theater background aids with that, but it doesn't come off false or phony or inauthentic. It comes off authentic. And the authenticity comes from the dynamics that he uses, his melodic choices, his face, the way he uses his body. It just really aids in helping us as the audience make a connection to the song. Now, I don't know this song like that. I've heard it maybe once or
Right.
twice, but I don't know it like that. And that could have been a deterrent for me to try to understand the
Okay.
song as well as listening to Michael B. sing and try to navigate all of that when I don't know the song very well. He could have been singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but the way that he was conveying the lyrics let me know exactly what he was talking about, and I was able to feel him and connect to him. And I think
Always.
that that again is a special gift that he has along with his voice. It
Yeah.
was an incredible performance. It really was.
Again, another captivating. I mean, so many captivating performances tonight, Stephanie. All right, Stephanie. So who does that lead us to next?
That leads us to Team Kelly. We have Holly Brand, and she is our country artist with a twist, and that is the truth. She sang Bring on the Rain by Jody Messina.
Holly's voice is so special. Like, she's one of those like ultimate weapons, right?
Come
Like, I
on.
think of her voice as a weapon, meaning she can pull out any style of fighting,
Okay. Mortal
any
Kombat is in my head.
right,
Mortal
right.
Kombat.
It is her. Like she can pull out anything from her voice. Like I don't know what's going on in there. It's like almost like she has like four vocal cords, right?
That's
Um, it's it's scary. I said she's just perfect
right.
vocal. Like,
Yeah.
I said this about Holly before Holly even opened her mouth. I said there's a few people this season who you know are going to bring the heat,
Mm-hmm.
bring the business, as we like to say.
Yes.
And you don't even have to guess if they're going to bring the
Mm-hmm.
business.
That's
And
right.
Holly is one of them.
That's right.
Look, like Kelly, like during rehearsal, like how I was doing that whistle at the end of the song, Kelly was like, "You don't need to do all that." I personally, because Holly's whistle is so ridiculous, I
Yeah.
wanted her to do it. So when she
Yes.
pulled it out, I was like, Holly's like, "That's okay. I'm gonna fight you with the other two vocal cords,"
That's right.
and
That's
and
right.
it's just her voice is scary
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it looks effortless.
Mm-hmm.
And for
Mm-hmm.
you, young lady, to say, I didn't think I was good enough. Like, I truly did. Like, and I could see that wasn't her fishing for compliments. That was like
Mm-hmm.
her being genuine. Like, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
I was going to audition for this show because I really didn't think I was good enough. That means
Mm-hmm.
somebody must have told her that she was good, but maybe not good enough. Holly, you are a front runner of this show. Like
Oh
really,
yeah.
you are. You
Oh
are,
yeah.
and it's you're another one that doesn't miss. You don't miss.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
always you are consistent.
Mhm.
Um, and you also your voice is so scary that it's like I'm discovering new things about your voice every time you sing. Like you pull out another
Right.
weapon.
Right.
And it's like, well, I didn't know she had that. But I
Right.
kind of did because it's Holly.
Right.
Or, Holly can run, Holly can yodel, Holly can
Mhm.
whistle.
Mhm.
She's got the power, she's got the
Yes.
softness, she's got it
Yeah.
all. She's literally got it all vocally
Yes.
with a
And
with a
she's
with
got
a pretty dynamite voice.
yes. And she's got it all. She's got it all vocally, but she's got it all performance-wise. And that
I knew
is
you were
the
going to say that,
thing.
Stephanie. Uh,
That is the thing that makes her really scary, because as scary of a vocalist and musician as she is, she's that scary of a competitor. And that, I mean that in the most complimentary way possible.
yep,
She
fierce,
attacks
fierce
every song,
competitor.
every
Yep,
performance she attacks. And this is a song that could have been a little sleepy. This is a song that could have been a little chill as far
I
as
do love this
performance
song.
goes. Yeah, she could have just sat there and sang, and it probably would have been beautiful. But the way that she attacked this song, with her face, with her body, with her movements across the stage, everything was intentional.
With her
Not
hands,
only
like you say,
her
Stephanie.
everything.
You got to dance it all the way through to the fingertips. You got
Yes.
to sing through the
Yes.
fingertips.
Yeah, it was it was incredible. This song, I don't know this song well, and I wonder if it is as rangy as she made it sound, because she was doing all the things. She was doing the falsetto. She was going from head voice and flipping into, I'm sorry, from chest voice and then flipping into head voice. I'm like, oh my god, her chest voice was so clean and so clear and so powerful. There is, like you said, nothing that her voice cannot do,
Mm, mm,
and
mm.
she makes it all seem effortless. And I'm sure that she works really hard, along
Oh,
with her just being
definitely.
very vocally gifted. I'm sure she works really hard at her instrument and making these performances look and sound the way that they do. But Holly, the finished product that we get is perfection.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
perfection. It's
perfect.
absolutely, week in and week out, we know Holly ain't gonna miss. She ain't gonna miss. It's incredible.
Mm.
Incredible.
Yeah, she is a comet, a meteor
That's right. She's a
headed
meteor.
towards a planet,
Come on.
and you better evacuate because there'll be
Destruction.
nothing left.
Nothing left. That's
Nothing.
right. Hmm.
All right, so we're
Oh,
gonna go into our final performance. See, Stephanie's already shaking her head, and I always give you a clue with one of the performances that impacted us the most. And this is the young Ryley Tate. Um,
yes.
and what did Ryley Tate bless us with last night, Stephanie?
Yes, from Team Niall, Riley Tate Wilson, 15 years old, our future boy, blessed us with When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish.
Ryley, young man, you have no clue how good you are, and that's good. Keep that innocence.
Hmm.
I really need you to keep that innocence because you're going to be offered the world.
Hmm.
And remember your family.
Hmm.
remember just remember your little room in Alabama
Hmm.
where you make music.
Hmm.
Save your money
Mm-hmm.
because you just want to produce and you want to sing
Mm-hmm.
because you have no clue how amazing you are.
Mm-hmm.
The opening of this song was it was a B natural on the piano, and I got to give this props to the band or whoever arranged it. And it just was a sustained B natural, like dun dun dun. I'm not singing a B natural, but it was just same
Yeah.
note, same note.
Yeah.
So when you have something like that in a song, it is 100% up to the singer to make that sustained note come alive. And someone saw in Ryley, unless Ryley was the one who arranged it himself, but
Mm-hmm.
the band saw in Ryley that Ryley's voice is that special that
Mm-hmm.
they can just sit there and hit that B natural on the
Mm-hmm.
piano and just sustain it, hit it over and over. They must have hit that note how many times, Stephanie? Like it was just that's
Oh, like
and just the
so many.
don't you know like how you came in. It was,
It was at least for almost the full of the first verse.
yeah, yeah. And to da, 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 da,
Yes.
da, da, and I think that's when they changed it up.
Mm-hmm.
It was so special. It was such a special. I said this young man is oblivious. He's oblivious. I said he is like, I'm going to remind you why I was the playoff save.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna close this show. I'm gonna be the closer. That should be his nickname. Ryley should be the closer because I think he and Michael B closed that one when they
I
did
don't
their
remember.
battle.
Maybe.
When
I
they
don't
did their
remember.
battle,
Mm-hmm.
I believe they closed it. And Ryley should be the closer. Like I'm gonna be like Michael B. I'm gonna be like I was like this when he was singing last night. Like I was like, yo, what are you doing? Ryley, you don't even know. And then you're like a year older than my daughter, and I'm just like, what did I say last night, Stephanie? I said
Mm-hmm. singers
that are old enough to be Riley's parents are taking notice
Mm-hmm.
and learning from a 15-year-old's technique. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have flawless technique, sir. Like the way
Mm-hmm.
you navigated up through it, even though you're going through because of your age, you're going through a voice change. Like it's puberty is for the male singer. For those of you that don't know, puberty is like a death wish for the male singer
Yeah. Yeah.
because our voices change. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of us were male sopranos. And then all of a sudden we have this depth to our voice and this boom
Yeah.
in our voice, and we don't
Yeah.
know what to do with it.
Right.
Not you, sir.
Right. Not
Not
you,
you.
sir.
The way you navigated like that song, people don't understand how rangy this song is. Like it walks up. And doggone Phineas and Billie Eilish, I tell you, y'all wrote a perfect song. And I'm
Yep.
gonna let Stephanie be in her feelings for a minute. I could go on and on about Ryley, but um this was one of the greatest performances of the entire season. Ryley, I have gone back over and over and over and again, and this just premiered last night. And you're the one I keep listening to over and over and over again because I'm like, he is just, he's a master, and you're a savant. Like you're a
Mm-hmm.
savant because you're 15 and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, you're a prodigy. Like
Mm-hmm.
seriously, you are a prodigy singer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a male
Mm-hmm.
because you can probably count them on one or two hands because
Right.
you know women's voices mature a lot sooner than boys'
Mm-hmm.
voices, and they can navigate through puberty a lot easier. And you are a gift. Yeah,
Yes.
Stephanie.
Number one, the song just gets me in my feelings, point blank, period.
Yeah.
James, you said something last night that got me thinking about this song overall. I think we spoke about it offline about how Billy and Phineas wrote this song when they were young. So there is a youthfulness to it. And I almost don't want to hear it sung by anybody older, because the beauty of the song is I believe you said there's an innocent sadness to
Yeah.
it that I think only a younger voice could do. However, most should not sing this song because it is so rangy.
Right.
And you have to have a really good sense of your own personal voice. And you have to be able to communicate these lyrics in a meaningful way in order to deliver the song the way that it should be delivered, just like Billie Eilish so incredibly has done.
This song has to start off almost at a whisper.
Yeah. Ryley, I don't ever want to hear anybody else sing this song besides you and Billy. You had me all up in my feelings. And it was the ends of those lines, the way that Billy and Phineas wrote this song. Like, you're listening to hear what's going to happen, because it continues to go higher and higher at the ends of those phrases. And what you did in some of your melodic choices at the ends of those phrases was so mature and so creative and so perfect, differing, but in a respectful way to make it your own. And, James, you say, he and you say it in jest that, he doesn't even know what he's doing. The thing is, he does.
Oh, he knows exactly what
He
he's
knows
doing.
exactly what he's doing. And
And
at
that's scary. At
15,
15, he knows exactly what he's doing.
exactly. At 15, to know your voice so intimately, to know voice and music so intimately, that you can create these kind of performances and you can deliver these kind of performances is incredible. And along with what James was saying, that you're in this very vulnerable space in your voice as you are in puberty. So there was a beautiful point in the song where your voice cracked a little bit. And I'm so glad that you are so confident in your voice and knowing your gift so well that did not derail you.
Nope.
And I hope that you looked at that as a very beautiful, poignant part in the song and allowed it to be a part of the song and a part of
It
the
was so
performance.
humane. It was so like, you're on a journey
Yeah.
vocally because your
Yeah.
voice is changing right before your eyes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
One more
it was
thing, one
awesome.
one more thing I wanted to highlight, and I don't recall if this is part of the original arrangement of the song, but in those verses, between each of the lines of those verses, I don't know that there is that much space as what was in last night's performance with Ryley. I think there was that additional space. I don't know if it's a measure or whatever you want to call
Right.
it, but there was those additional spaces in between the lines in those verses that let the song
Breathe.
but in this achy, just it
Mhm.
made, even more than breathe, it
Like almost
made
like
you feel.
almost like a sigh, like
It made you feel. It gave you space. It gave us as the audience space to feel every lyric and every line that you were saying. And the fact that you were able to deliver as beautifully as you did it was a gift.
I I heard something for the first time in his voice last night. I heard a young JT in his voice.
Oh.
Like Justin Timberlake, like in sync days, like young Justin
Oh.
Timberlake. Like I heard, like it's like because it's like a twang, like that southern twang a little bit. Like I
Yes.
hear a young JT in his voice. Like I was like who like Justin 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, but Ryley can be an R&B singer if he wants to. Like he can be
Absolutely.
pop. He can do everything. Ryley,
Absolutely.
amazing. So
Amazing.
I know we've been talking, Stephanie, but let's get down to business
Let's do
and
it.
talk about who was left when the dust cleared.
Yes. So from Team Kelly, again, she only had 2 artists to choose out of the 5 that performed. Her first choice was D Smooth. Her second choice was Holly Brand.
Yes.
They will be moving on to the semifinals next week.
Real quick, I told Stephanie, I said, any of the 5 of them could have been through and I would have been happy on
Absolutely.
Team Kelly. They're that good.
Team
That team
stacked.
was that stacked.
Team
I'd have been happy with
stacked.
any of
Yes.
them. Any.
Absolutely.
So what
So
about
from
Niall?
from Team Niall, he chose Ryley Tate and he chose Gina Miles. That's right.
She grabbed us and said,
That's right.
"You're gonna love me."
That's right. That's right.
All right, Stephanie. What an amazing past 2 weeks. We knew that the playoffs were going to be heartbreaking, but we knew they were going to be incredible, and they did not disappoint.
That's right.
Tell everybody what they need to hear.
So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And as you know, we are on YouTube now. Please search for the Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
I'll be like Eric Who when you do your intro, bopping his head. All right, everyone. Until next week, when we are at the lives.
The lives.
Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Bye.